Good evening, everyone, and welcome to IELTSMaterial.com. So we are expecting a few participants. We'll just wait for some time. Hi, Rohit. Hi, Dhruv. Hi, Dishang. So today we are going to learn about how to score Band 7 in IELTS writing, wherein I will be explaining about the difference between Band 6 and Band 7, which will give you a very good idea of how you can excel from Band 6 to Band 7. What are the things that you should keep in mind to get Band 7 or more than Band 7? And what actually should you do when you get the task? How should you continue with your task? And the 4-step approach of doing this task. And finally, giving you the writing task 2 tips. And also making you understand about common topics of task 2. So here, let's discuss about the difference between Band 6 and Band 7. So when an examiner gives you Band 6, what are the things that you feel that you have done wrong? That is, you went wrong. For example, it may be related to grammar, or it may be related to vocabulary, or it may be related to sentence formation, the content as well, not going exactly according to the ideas, have taken wrong ideas, or you have gone off the topic. All these things, give you 6 bands. And if you want to go with 7 bands, then you need to show the coherence and cohesion, that is a connection between ideas. You have presented examples, you justify your main idea, and giving the supporting details as well. So all these things actually take you to 1 band. So what we say, the improvement of 1 band increases 1 band. So here we have a table which clearly describes what is the difference between Band 6 and Band 7 according to the task marking parameters. So if I have to go with task response, then that means some ideas are inadequately developed, means they are not developed completely. So they're mentioned there. There is, there is this description of the ideas, what you are going to explain. And in Band 7, all ideas are developed. Now, what is the meaning of this? Many times I have explained my students as well, saying that you should never write, you will be writing the ideas, or let's say the advantages and disadvantages in the upcoming paragraphs. Don't write the sentences like this. For example, the advantages and disadvantages of tourism will be explained in the upcoming paragraphs. No, this is wrong. Instead, explain the main advantage of tourism is this, whereas the major disadvantage or the drawback of tourism is this. You have to give a brief description of what you're going to explain in the body paragraphs. That is again called as task response. Next is coming to coherence. Clear overall progression, clear progression throughout. So here there is, a bit of what we say, there is this expansion as well of the main ideas, but it's not very clear. You have to make sure that you give clear progression throughout. Here, only the overall progression is seen. So, for example, there are advantages and disadvantages, and at the end, there is just this rephrasing part. But when I talk about clear progression throughout, means the topic sentence is given, the supporting detail in context to the topic sentence or the main idea is given. There is a justification which clearly says that this is the example which justifies the main idea, and you also conclude it. In this manner, it is called as coherence, where clearly everything is, properly explained in a body paragraph. The same goes for cohesion. Some cohesion is faulty or mechanical. For example, it just goes as a template. Like this is there, furthermore, for an example, that's it. Again, in the next paragraph, you will find the same type of, explanation. That's wrong. It should not go mechanical, somewhere like memorized. Memorized content will definitely not give you Band 7. On the contrary, if you see band 7, cohesion is generally appropriate. So it shows the connection between the two body paragraphs. It shows the connection between introduction and conclusion. And this is how the complete task achievement is done. Next is we come to lexical resource. Lacks precise vocabulary. That means it doesn't give topic-specific vocabulary or appropriate vocabulary. And if I have to take band 7, it uses really good vocabulary, which shows that you have written about a particular topic. Let's say if it is about education, then the vocabulary should relate to education. If it is health sector, then the topic should relate to health sector, or the vocabulary should relate to health sector. In this manner, you immediately move on to band 7. Coming to grammatical range and accuracy, restricted range of complex grammatical structures, variety of complex grammatical structures. This is the meaning. So when I say different grammatical structures, I should be using complex sentences, simple sentences, compound sentences, conditional sentences, passive sentences. So in this manner, I give different range of sentences also with correct grammatical accuracy. Means I write it with correct grammar. If I make grammatical errors, definitely I'm going to stay at 6 bands. If I don't make any grammatical errors, I can move on to band 7. So this is the difference between band 6 and band 7. You should be able to cover up these things that is related to band 6, and eventually if you improvise, you will be shifting to band 7. You will be able to shift to band 7. Now, what is IELTS writing task 2? What you actually have to do? Do you have to become a storyteller in writing task 2? No, you should not be a storyteller in writing task 2. Instead, you have to show your essay, or let's say your content which you have inside yourself, but with technical terms and with a few cohesive devices, or let's say linkers and connectors, which will help you to give an argumentative or a descriptive essay, clearly showing that you're presenting the arguments, or you're presenting the description, that is the positives and the negatives, means benefits and drawbacks, or its problems and solution, causes and effects, or giving the answers to double questions. Or you agree or disagree. You're giving a general opinion. You're trying to give your own opinion. So you become more and more descriptive. What are you actually doing? You're doing two things when we talk about IELTS writing task 2. Yes, you can, right? Dishank, you can definitely use idioms, and I'll definitely come to that, okay? So here, your academic writing skills and your English language skills. So when I talk about academic writing skills, means I'm not a general writer. For example, if I'm a general writer, I would be using a lot of informal words. I would be using a lot of storytelling words or vocabulary. But here, when I use academic words, that means I would be using many phrasal verbs, many collocations, 1 or 2 idioms, and also I would be forming different words from one particular word. For example, I can make different words from one word, that is educate. So I can definitely take, instead of writing educate, I can take education, educational, I can educating. So these are different words. One particular word can be changed into different forms. I can use majorly topic-specific vocabulary, as I said, which will give the answer to that specific question. And I have to present the general opinion, or let's say the personal opinions. I should not be using I think. I think is informal. I think generally comes with the storytelling. I believe, I firmly agree, I completely disagree. This is the way how you give your own opinion. If it comes to giving general opinion, I say that it is believed that, it is agreed that, it is disagreed that, and in this manner, we actually try to, present the agreement or disagreement in a general way, right? So this is called as academic style of writing. When you actually write or you give the response to a particular topic, for example, environment, health, or education, which completely talks about academic structure. It doesn't talk about any social index. It talks about academic context. Okay. Next is your task is to present and extend your views on the topic. You should explain your ideas using a logical structure. For example, you start the main topic. In case there is one more thing to be added, you say in addition to this, in fact, or you say the fact is that, or you say the supporting fact is that, you give a supporting detail. To substantiate this means to give an elaborate example to this. This is there. And finally, hence or therefore and thus, you write the answer to, to an extent showing the conclusion of that particular paragraph. So this is the way you actually show your academic style. Okay. And this is not storytelling. Again, I would come to this part. This is not storytelling. Next is know what is your task. So when it comes to task 2, generally students, they struggle in understanding what type of question it is. So whenever you get a question, what you should do is, let's say this is the question. And the question says, some people say that the best way to improve public health is by increasing the number of sports facilities. Others, however, say that this would have little effect on public health and that other measures are required. Discuss both these views and give your opinion. Now, there are 2 factors. Whenever you get any question, you have to go with major 2 things. What are those? Number 1, go with the statement. What actually the statement is trying to give you. The first part of the task description is a statement about the topic. Here they are talking about, improvement in the public health by increasing the number of sports facilities. And others are saying that, however, this would have little effect. That is, the sports will have little effect on public health and other measures. They're giving 2 different viewpoints, right? From this, we understand that this is a discussion essay and an opinion is being asked. Yes, Ben, completely perfect, right? So this is a discussion essay and an opinion is being asked. So what I would do, I would immediately think about the structure of a discussion essay, and then I'll start to jot down my points. I'll make the pointers, I'll plan the essay, and then I'll execute the plan. In this manner, I should be doing the first part of, understanding the task. So what is it? First, I will try to understand the statement, what it is actually trying to say. Does it have 2 opinions or does it have 2 viewpoints? Does it have one particular situation? And is it trying to ask about problems and solution? Is it trying to ask about, the advantages and disadvantages? And then I would come to the next part of the question, which clearly states what action I have to take. What action plan I have to decide on. These are the 2 things you have to do when you get task 2. Let's say, for example, I take task 1. I would be talking about academic task 1. I would actually look at the picture. First of all, I would identify what kind of image it is. So is it a bar graph? Is it a pie chart? Is it a map or, a process diagram? Finally, I would also see to different categories or the stages that I would be explaining. And I would also try to find one particular overall statement from the whole figure. Okay, so 3 things to be done. 1, identification of the figure. 2, what I would be writing in the overall statement. And 3, the different categories that I should be explaining and how. How would I be explaining all the categories? If I have to take general training task 1, the first thing that I would do is I would identify the type of the letter. Is it a formal letter, an informal letter, or a semi-formal letter? Then I would be understanding the purpose of the letter. After understanding the purpose of the letter, finally, I would start noticing the 3 points and then I would execute my plan. In this manner, you would be getting, definitely you would be getting 7 bands because you have clearly understood the matter, what actually you have to present. And then that's it. You would be writing the pointers exactly of the points and let's say the supporting details, example also you would decide. And then you would organize the paragraphs in a way which would show the connection. Okay. So this is how you should plan task 1 and task 2 in terms of academic IELTS and also in terms of general training IELTS. Okay. Next is yes. So coming to this part, I would say that um, as I have made you understand about each and every part, I would suggest you that in case if you feel you would like to go with one-on-one session, then please take up the demo session with our expert trainers who would actually help you in understanding all the concepts in depth. How I do, like giving you the idea of all the types of questions, the task, the structure, and also giving you a few examples like I do, and making you understand about the execution of the plan or how you can brainstorm the ideas, organize the paragraphs, how to write an introduction, a conclusion, and all those things. And how can you understand this? You can understand this by taking up a free demo session with our trainers. Our trainers will definitely help you in understanding the structure, and I am putting the link in the chat box so that you can access the link, click on the link to talk to our counselors and arrange a demo session with the trainer. Ask any question that you want to and then decide which plan you would like to go for. If you are a starter and you are going to start from scratch, I would suggest you go for plan B. And if you are a trainer who would, if you are, already trained, it's just that you want to bridge the gap from, you just want to increase your band score by 1 band or 2 bands, you can take a plan A just to polish your ideas or just to, brush up these strategies. And plan A, 10 sessions would do, right? So again, I'm putting the link in the chat box. If you are able to take up a demo session and plan the lesson with the certified trainers, that would be really great and helpful. And you would definitely be able to understand the structure very clearly, right? In case if you have any questions, we would definitely discuss that at the end of the session. So stay with us. This is not the end of the session. We're still continuing. And also, like, whatever question you have related to the sessions or related to IELTS writing, you can definitely put that in the chat box. Now, coming to the next plan. So, when I say what you should do when, like how should you plan your answers? What should be the ideal method of planning the answers? So there is a 4-step approach. Now, what is that 4-step approach? The first one is understand your task. I did that. I made you understand with the structure what actually you should do. That is, what do I have to write about it? Now, for example, if it is said, what is your opinion? You clearly understand that you have to present your own opinion. If they say, what are the advantages and disadvantages, it clearly says that you have to write about the benefits and drawbacks of a particular situation. If it says that you have to talk about a bar graph, it clearly you have to understand that it's a bar graph and you're going to explain about that particular diagram. So the first task that you would do is understand your task. The next part is extend your ideas. Now, when I say there is a particular question given, let's say it was about sports facilities. So if I indulge myself into sports facilities, I would be able to take care of my health in a better way. Some people say that doesn't matter. Sports doesn't contribute anything or it has little effect on the health matters. So what I would do, I would start collecting points related to the viewpoint 1 and to the viewpoint 2. I'll just make pointers. I'm not going to write complete sentences. I'm just going to make pointers, and relevant to those pointers, I'll also take up a few examples as well. I'll collect everything. I'll make notes. I'll collect everything. And then what I would do, I would decide my position. What do I think? From the two viewpoints, for example, I say I go with the first viewpoint. Okay, I would agree to that viewpoint. For example, if I say I would go with the second viewpoint, okay. And then if there is, there's a place where I have to agree or disagree, I would decide I should be giving agreement or I should be giving disagreement. If I'm giving agreement, then what reasons am I going to present on my agreement? And if I am giving disagreement, then I would say what actually would be my disagreement. Then is I would structure my essay. That is, I would take up all the ideas, my opinion, and then I would structure it in a proper way, putting the arguments into different paragraphs. So I would present introduction, which gives a brief idea of my body paragraphs. And then I would take two body paragraphs explaining about two reasons, advantages and disadvantages, problems and solutions, the two answers of the double question essay. And then finally, I'll write the conclusion, just rephrasing the introduction. I'm not going to do anything else apart from that. Okay. So in this manner, I should be deciding about the whole planning process, which actually takes place with 4 steps. Then I'll come to the first part. Understand your task. So what should I do actually? In the first step of my 4-step planning process, the first thing that I would do is, what is the topic about? What is the topic not about? How should you respond to the topic? So am I going to give a general opinion? Okay, so I would be writing it as, it is believed that, it is recommended that, it is suggested that. And then if it is related to giving a personal opinion, I would start writing I. I would also decide on the examples. I would also decide where I'm actually going to present or take up my position. All these things we have to analyze when we get the question. What type of essay it is, right? So you have to be very careful. You should not take a quick decision, but you should actually, just make sure that you understand properly the the question, and then you execute the plan. Okay. And then you go for decide your position. Oh, I'm so sorry. I actually missed that. Deciding your position is you have to say you agree, you disagree, what you actually think about that particular essay topic. And then you start your essay by giving your position. Okay. Which viewpoint you're going to talk about more, which viewpoint you're saying you do not agree to, and you're going to give less points related to that. Okay. And in this manner, you have to decide about your own position, wherein you should be able to present proper reasons related to that particular response. Okay. Next, coming to step 3, extend your ideas. You should always put your ideas very correctly. So what are the 2 things that you should do when you want to extend your ideas? Explanations of what you mean. That is called as supporting details. Explain what actually you mean. So what is your, what is your position? What is your side, or what is your reason of supporting this particular main idea? And how you are going to justify that reason by giving specific examples. That is what will help you in extending your ideas. Okay. It's not that just you will explain about the main topic and you're not giving any supporting details. No. If you fail to support your ideas, you would definitely stand at band 6. But if you extend your ideas, you would definitely go beyond band 7. Okay. And next is the final thing is step 4, structure your essay. How would you do that? Okay. Okay, Akshi, do you remember Muskan? No, I think no. I am so sorry about it. I attended your classes long time back. Okay. Told you will get back to you once I clear IELTS. Okay. So have you cleared IELTS? Muskan or Akshi, I am so sorry. I don't have the idea. So did you clear IELTS? Yep. What's the score? What's the score? You have to give me the score, Akshi. I'm waiting. Oh, that's a great score. Listening 8.5, reading 7.5, writing 7 and speaking 7.5, I guess. Is it? Participants, if you can just, put your emojis and give some expressions, please. Because Muskan, I guess Muskan, let me just. So Muskan, is it you attended the live classes? You attended the live classes, is it? Oh, that means it's really great. I'm really happy coming to know that at 7 p.m. daily. So you're talking about the first. Okay, so participants, Akshi is actually saying that Akshi or Muskan, I'm not sure, it's Muskan, might be. We started our live classes, the first live classes, which actually, we started, and it was right, it's almost 1 year now when we started our first live classes. And I think Muskan attended the live classes at that time. And at that particular, the first live classes were at 7 p.m. every day, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And I think Muskan attended at that point. And the score that she has received is listening 8.5, reading 7.5, writing 7, and speaking 7.5. Exactly. Yes. I do remember, Muskan. So Muskan is actually the first student of my first live class when I started live class, and we were doing live class from Monday to Sunday, actually, right, Muskan? And it was a 30-day program where we actually conducted all the sessions, right from all the essays, general training task 1, academic writing task 1, and we did all the reading sections, all the listening sections. We did, yes, speaking parts as well. And it was exactly 30-day program because we did that Monday to Sunday. We did not take any day holiday. So it was extremely intensive learning at that time. And yes, I used to have somewhere around 80 to 100 participants at that time. I remember, Muskan, I'm so sorry, I forgot. It's my bad. I should not be doing that. But congratulations, Muskan. You have come back and you're giving me this good news. This has made my day. Somewhere I was very low today, literally. But you have made my day today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for such a good, for such a good result. And all the best for your future. I hope you don't stop here and you just, go ahead and you touch the sky, right? Yes, of course. And I'm really happy that after a year, you have come back and you're giving me this news, and I really appreciate this. Thank you so much for coming back. I love you for this. Thank you. Right? Okay, so participants, I think I don't have to, right? I don't have to say anything else. Like, she has completely appreciated about the platform. And it's a wonderful thing that after a year, she's actually come and, given us this, what we say, good news. She's remembered me. And that's the best part of a tutor, that when a student completes or, clears examination, oh, this was your first attempt. Oh, Muskan, you're giving me shock, and you're making me surprised that this was your first attempt. You really worked hard, and your, hard work has actually been fruitful. Very good, Muskan. Very good. And I still remember you always kept on asking me different questions from all the areas of IELTS. I remember now. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right? Thanks a lot. Thank you so much. And I would definitely want to talk to you. Muskan, can you just provide me your contact number, please? You can send me a direct message, right? Please send me your contact details. I would call you after I finish this class. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me just note down it, because then I'll just forget. And I'll make sure that I call you once I finish my class. Yes, of course I'll do that. Of course. Just a second, participants. I'll come back. Okay. Thank you so much, Muskan, for making my day. You made me happy today. Thank you so much. Okay, so participants, let's come back to the lesson. And Muskan, all the best for the future. Bye, bye, Muskan, bye. Okay, so participants, I think I don't have to explain you anything else. This was my student and I just, repeat the same thing. Like I started my live classes exactly right, from the month of August. And I used to take the classes at 7 p.m. Monday to Sunday, like no days, holidays. We used to conduct the classes every day. And Muskan was a student who used to ask me n number of questions. Even she doesn't leave me after an hour class as well. So yes, it is a great thing for a trainer when students, they come back and they say that they finally cleared the examination and this was just the first attempt. So you can also do the same thing. You can also come back, you can remember me, and you can tell me that, how you succeeded and you have got the good marks actually. Okay, so how to structure your essay? Let's come back to the studies now. So structuring your essay, this is easy bit. Why? Because you have understood the question. Yes, thank you so much, Ben. Thank you for such wonderful words. So again, coming back, where I was, yes. So once you have understood the question, you have understood the task, and then finally, you decide about how many paragraphs to be written. You have the pointers, so let's say you have the ideas, you have examples, you have made the notes, and now it's just the time that you have to develop those notes into sentences. Structuring your essay. If it is a discussion essay, you write 4 or 5 paragraphs. If it is just about discussing problems and solution, you write 4 paragraphs according to the structure. So understanding the structure is also very important. So you should have a clear structure to your essay if you are aiming for band 7. You should not be writing anything anywhere. This is not a structure that you should follow. So understanding the structure is the most important thing when you are going to give IELTS writing examination, whether it is task 1 or it is task 2, right? Now, coming to the next part, IELTS writing task 2 tips. Very, very important, where I will be explaining you the basic tips. First of all, plan your essay. So as I said, we can go with 4-step approach, where we would plan our essay with step-by-step process. Then is what we need to do is we need to answer the question directly. Means directly and completely. If the opinion is asked, try to give the opinion completely with the strong reasons. If it is about advantages and disadvantages, please write second paragraph as advantages and third paragraphs as disadvantages and present them very clearly. Make your views very clear. That means you will say, I agree. But why do you agree? What is your agreement? Why this is your agreement, or why this is your disagreement, or why this is your opinion? You have to present it in a very good manner. Develop all of your main ideas. Explain your main ideas with supporting details and example by a logical structure. So you should take a topic sentence, 1 to 2 supporting details, example, conclude that main idea. Then again, take the next body paragraph, repeat the process again, and this is how you should write your essay. Maintain the number of words to 280 to 300 words. This is for task 2. And if it is task 1, I would suggest you to write around 180 to 190 words, which is more than enough. Write the exact number of paragraphs you learned related to the structure and never write less number of paragraphs. Again, you would end up losing your band score. Very clear and topic-specific vocabulary, that is what you should use. For example, use phrases, collocations, phrasal verbs, idioms. Again, you should not go for fancy or advanced vocabulary. You should try to use topic-specific vocabulary which is related to the words, which is related to the topics, and you take or choose words according to the topic. That should be your first preference. Not using advanced vocabulary wherein even you don't understand or you make things complicated. You should not be doing that. Also write with accurate grammar. You should be able to understand the punctuation, the correct way of using articles, the correct way of using the subject-verb agreement, singulars and plurals. All these things definitely matter. And using linkers and connectors to write the correct way of presenting your, supporting details. All these things would definitely matter. Avoid spelling errors. If you make a lot of spelling errors, you will not go beyond band 5. Band 6 is also way difficult to achieve. If you make too many spelling errors, you would definitely go with band 5. You would not go till band 7. So always check your spellings. So these are the general tips that you should definitely follow when you are actually going to attend IELTS writing examination, right? Now, coming to the next part, this is very important. If you want, you can take a screenshot of this because this will definitely help you in preparing your task 2 questions. Here are some common topics which you can expect in your examination. First one is education. Example, teaching creativity at school, or they may talk about, replacing teachers and introducing robotic teachers. What would be the advantages and disadvantages? In this manner, they may talk about education. Environment, obviously, they may talk about, the different problems, deforestation, protection of endangered species, or let's say global warming, greenhouse gases, pollution. All these topics can be climatic change. All these topics can be considered in terms of environment. Technology and communication, let's say parental control of children's technology. More and more people are addicted to mobile devices. More and more people are addicted to video games, which actually makes them more violent. What is your opinion? So majorly dependent on AI technology, artificial intelligence. So you may have to use words like these. And then health. The main topic that is generally discussed is health, obesity. More and more people are eating outside, and that is a problem why people are becoming more and more obese. What are the causes and what solutions can be provided? So you understand what they can ask about health, and an example is already given. Family and children, example, the generation gap. They may ask you a question about, nowadays, joint families are less seen or they're less noticed, whereas people want to live all by themselves and they like their privacy and they don't want to get socialized. More and more people are isolated nowadays. Why is it? So the question can be in that way. Society and social change. Example, the effects of overpopulation. So people more and more, they're shifting from, countryside to the cities. So how does this affect? So the question can be related to that. Jobs and the workplace. So decision making in companies. People are, people do not have practical knowledge. They are more and more addicted to, or they're more and more inclined towards theoretical knowledge, because of which they do not have personality, interpersonal skills, or they lack soft skills, right? The question can be related to that. Sports, salaries of famous sports personalities, like they're overpaid, and that particular amount can be used in other activities by the government. Let's say improving the education and medical facilities of a country, rather than paying more and more salaries to the sports people, right? Crime and punishment. So imprisonment versus rehabilitation. People should, or criminals should be only considered for punishment and there should be no scope of improvement in them? Or should they be, taken to the imprisonment, but there should be some rehabilitation facilities as well where they can improvise themselves or they can be a better person in their life. Transport and travel, benefits of public transportation, which would reduce pollution and all those things. Art and reading, for example, ebooks versus printed books. This is a very common topic that generally students, they get in their examination. Newspapers may fade away in the future and ebooks or electronic devices or e-papers would be introduced, and this would be more comfortable for people as they can carry everywhere. So what is your opinion? Food, example, healthy diets. So whether a balanced diet is important or exercising is more crucial. What is your opinion? Language and culture, learning different languages, or there is disappearance of local languages because of the Western culture. Question may depend on that. Media and advertising. Example, censorship, or they may actually talk about, influence of advertising or influence of media and news that is actually hampering the thoughts of people. All these things, the negative impact of media and advertising, these can be different questions, but you have to take the main topics. The main topics are education, environment, technology, health, family and children, society and social change, jobs and the workplace, sports, crime and punishment, transport and travel, art and reading, food, language and culture, media and advertising. If you take these topics and to develop your pointers, you would definitely be able to attend any question that comes in front of you during the examination. Okay, so here I would go to the next part. Like, as I have given you all the information, I would request you, if at all you can join, one-on-one session. So here is the link. It's just that you have to take a small demo session, stopping the presentation. You just have to take a small demo session and understand the structure, right? And also, if you feel that you definitely loved the demo session, you can definitely go for one-to-one session or one-to-many session. And in case if you have any other questions, you can please go ahead. Now, everything, the ball is in your court. You can go with your questions. Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful words that you actually, gave it to me. Thank you so much. Any questions, participants? Any questions? Please put it in the chat box, or you can just, click on the link and you can take up a demo session, understand how you would like to proceed with the sessions,